I'm so excited to tell all my friends about you.
Ding dong.
Oh, hang on one sec. Oh, hey guys, what's up? You want to meet my new boy? Want to go to a party? A party?
Yeah, get the over to the party.
No, there's gonna be tons of really cute guys. Oh. You know what? No, it's okay. You guys go without me. I'll text you next time. Okay. Oh.
Ding dong.
Oh, hang on one sec. Hey guys, what's up? Hey. Oh, yeah, okay, sure. No, Jesus, stay here. Stay here. No, Jesus, it's not your kind of thing. You're not gonna like it, so just stay here. I'll be right back. No, Jesus, no. Stay here. You know what? On second thought, you guys go ahead. No, it's okay. What? No. I'm sorry.
But flee from these things, you man of God, and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, perseverance, and gentleness. Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called, and you made the good confession in the presence of many witnesses.
All right. A great time on the trip last year. So coming into this trip this year, I had a lot of expectations, and I really felt like God was calling me there to change something in me. As the trip started, however, I was kind of confused on what that exactly would be. And so I prayed to God, and I kept asking Him, what are you showing me? Like, what do I need to do in order for you to show me? What do I need to do outside of houseboats? What do I need to do to fix things? What do I need to do to change? And what God showed me throughout this trip is I don't need to do anything. And in fact, I need to stop being a human doing and start being a human being. I need to be who God created me to be and have faith in Him that He will take control of my entire life and that He will take control of all situations. And I need to stop doing, and let God work through me. I thought that the trip was really fun, and it was really great being rebaptized in the Yeah,
I learned that walking the walk is like as important as talking the talk. And you can tell people about God, but it's more important to show them through your actions.
I learned that like you can pray about anything, like no matter how small it is, like that you don't. I don't know. Good example, but like what? Yeah, like the things you don't think that are that important, like that you don't know if you'll make it or not. Like you can pray about that, like, or it could be big stuff. Like, I don't know.
I learned that God is always there with me even when I feel like I have no faith, and He'll always start me off where I left off. It's just a great feeling to have Him there.
I learned that no matter what life faces you with, God will always show you a path out of it in the right direction.
Going into this year's leaders, and I decided to talk to Cherie because one of the people who spoke there said something that got to me, and I've been through a lot, and I'm like 17, so like, you know, I've always had stuff that like tries to like bring my faith down, and I learned that I need to start living now, and God wants me to start living for now and what He's doing with me now than living for what was in my past.
So how many of you did a backflip off the top of for the first time?
Yeah, Cherie.
How many did a front flip for the
First time?
For the first time, yeah. Or who jumped off the houseboat for the first time? See, I mean, everybody had a first time.
Well, I jumped off last year, but that's as far as I get. It's just jumping.
John, did you do a backflip?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good encouragers. And live to tell about it. So,
Live to tell.
how many of you were baptized for the first time this week? Those two young men, kind of last year, had kind of committed themselves to Christ and had done a lot of work this year. I think learning what that looks like and means. And so this year, when they went on the hike, they wanted to make a public statement about that. And Jacob Pearson, who's not here today, he was another young man that also was baptized. So that was really cool. And how many of you kind of recommitted your lives to Christ this week? And that should be a weekly event anyway, shouldn't it? I have to tell a couple stories on everybody real quick.
Uh-oh.
Let's see, who do I start with? I'm gonna start with the newbie. Jacob Kelso. The waterfall hike is an amazing hike. It's a beautiful hike up the ravine. But you get to they have a slide. It's a slide that the water is worn into the rocks. And there's a rope that you have to climb up there. Last year, I almost didn't get up there. Lauren was probably the Miss Perseverance last year on that rope thing. But it's a tricky thing to do. Well, Mr. Jacob Kelso gets up there, and I think on his 30th try, he zips up the line and gets down the waterfall, but he never gave up. And it was so fun to watch all these kids, and there were even some other people we didn't know there. They stuck around the whole time cheering him on and praying him on, so it was really cool to see that lesson in perseverance. And like Cherie said, I mean, it was just a parable for us. There was kind of like parables all the time of what it looks like to endure and persevere, and how important it is to have that encouragement to do that. And so next year, I'm sure he'll be like the rest of us were this year. Finally, we just got a feel for it and could go up, so it was really, really cool. These four guys, 5 right here, and Jacob Pearson, who's not here too. It was really cool to watch these guys. I'm going to do a lump story on this group for the moment. They kind of challenged each other about what it means, first of all, just to get to know each other a little better this year, I think, and share their faith a little more, but also, one night we were sharing on the top of the boat, you know, and it's kind of fun to share under the stars in the dark a little bit. You're kind of a little more freer, but they all share the desire to want to be different. They didn't want to be mocking people anymore. They didn't want to be using foul language. They wanted just to be different. They wanted their lives to show Jesus to other people. And I'm thinking, man, I mean, that was a challenge to me. It was like, that was an incredible moment of just, you know, I wish I had been that mature when I was 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. And I think that's a challenge for us too. Do we really want to be changed? I mean, that was the message they gave to me that it blessed me with is, you know, I want to be for Jesus, and I want my life to look like that. And so we're going to be keeping each other accountable as we do that. Also, it's interesting, we have, as these young men go into high school this year, we have 3 different high schools that are going to be impacted by their lives, but also it's a challenge for us to keep this group knit together. We have Redondo Beach, Penn, and West High is where these gentlemen are going to be sending off here in just a few weeks even. So I'm asking for your prayers for them as they continue to build their friendship with each other, but also as they can be a light shining in those schools as they go this week. Miss Sammy down here took one for the team. Cherie mentioned the back flop. It was an amazingly painful thing to watch, and as it unfolded. I won't replay it, but we could get like a slow-mo. No, we won't. But the lesson that I got taught at that moment was a willingness to do something really risky for the sake of your team. It was during the Water Olympics. We had Water Olympics on Wednesday afternoon. We put them through the paces for about 2.5 hours. They were amazing But it was this. They were supposed to do this. It was the three-man.
No, it was someone gets in the water, they're supposed to throw the ball, he was supposed to jump in, one person was supposed to.
That's right. It was a three-person ball throw catch kind of thing. So she leaps up to the top. She's going to do a back flip to start off which they would have won with that. And they almost won anyway. But again, the willingness to say, am I willing to take a risk for others? And again, the message, the parable for me on that was, am I willing to take a risk? And she knew the risk involved. I don't know if you've done it. You've done a backflip first? No. And some people may think it's crazy to try that. But again, the lesson I learned was being willing to take risks for others and for the sake of others and what that means. And that's just a huge lesson of many that do. Are you feeling better? And then Miss Lauren / mom / big sister to all of them, I think. What she already kind of shared, that revelation that I think we all need to get in our lives, that Jesus is far more interested in what he wants to do in you than what you can do for him. Yes, there are ministry and there are things Jesus wants us to do for him in this life and for the sake of others, but it starts with knowing who you are. And you only learn who you are by being with Jesus and learning from him what that is you want to do. And that was just a good reminder for me when she was sharing that. I mean, it's so funny because early in the week she was a little frustrated with, like, man, I'm not, what do I need to do? And it was just like this, epiphany moment. And again, just a thing for all of us to understand of being with Jesus is where it all begins and ends. And everything that happens in between is Jesus work through us and nothing more. So I know Cherie said, yeah.
Sorry, John, I was going to add one thing. One thing that's kind of a challenge bringing back to you guys that we did all week. We started off talking about speech and is our speech pleasing to God? Is it pleasing to others? And so one thing that we practiced all week that I thought was really cool, and they really took it on and challenged each other with it, was if you say one put down to someone, you immediately have to give them 3 put-ups. So as soon as that put down came out, all of us would be like, 3 put-ups, and they were on it. So then there was, and so I would challenge you with that. If you use, your words and you accidentally slip and give someone a put down, challenge yourself to immediately give them 3 put-ups, about them and who they are, because that was a really neat practice, where we practiced our speech up there at Houseboat, and they got really good at it, and they, to the point where people didn't need to point out to them that they just had to put down. They immediately were like, okay, and giving 3 put-ups. So that was a really neat, applicable thing that I challenge everyone with now, us coming back, because it challenged me as well to think about the words that come out of my mouth as well.
Any questions you guys might have for them? Put them on the spot one more time.
How was the food?
They cook all their own meals there. That's what's really fun. Is that we have a staff on board and they kind of show them where all the ingredients are. But each person probably 2 or 3 meals you help prepare, help clean, and also help clean up. So it was really fun. They worked in pairs, and they. Another neat thing we also had was every morning we had our morning devotions led by a couple of the kids too. So they would get ready the night before typically, or the morning of, and they would prepare and then share kind of the opening devotion to kind of kick off the day too. So that was really cool to kind of sit under their teaching and things. So we did some feet washing while we were there. What else? We shared communion with one another while we were there.
What was the hardest task or adventure you guys had to do?
Backflip.
We had to do a 3-hour solo time with God on Friday morning, and so by ourselves, solo. Okay. Anyway, we had to spend 3 hours quiet, all with God, and so it was really hard to keep focused. But I think we all definitely persevered through that and gained so much more faith in God to lead us through the Bible and through His Word in our lives. You guys want to add on
Christina, she's a hard act to follow.
Any other things you'd like to know? Or?
Did anybody water ski or wakeboard?
We a lot of us wakeboarded, and Sean, go ahead and tell you.
Yeah, the motorcycle was in the way.
Sean, you repeat it.
I tried like 10, 15 times to get up and ride, and after that certain amount, I got up and rode for a while, and it felt really good, like actually stand up and ride.
Good photos? Anybody take photos?
Oh yeah, we got some photos. We'll get those posted soon. There's actually some on Facebook this morning. So if you want to go on the City on Your Own Facebook site.
Videotapes of all of them being baptized. So get you that, videotape that.
Those
Some other short video clips too.
Anything else?
Again next year?
Oh yeah, I think so. How many want to go back next year?
How many parents want to go back next year?
Right now?